Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and oh boy have we got some Magic news. You know that I'm going to lead with this one. The Spider-Man pre-release was recently, I mean it's not like a one-day thing now, it's like a 4-day range, but you know, generally it was held over the last weekend, maybe inclusive of Friday, and people are already reporting this is the lowest attended pre-release ever. Now how far does ever go back, you know, because like, after that one deck in 2012, was it? 2011? Standard was not great. I mean, after Kamigawa, Standard wasn't great. After Ikoria, Standard wasn't great, but people still show up to pre-release. And the weird thing is everybody loves Spider-Man. I mean, he's just like the generic OG one. The cartoons were solid. The comics were solid. They went full comic at some point where it's like, well, now there's 8 versions of him in different universes and it's all a mess. And, well, this one, and Time Traveler, and just, come on. Can we just move on and create a new superhero? You don't have to take every single one to the extreme, except they do because milk it for money. So yeah, Marvel ruined it. Cool, but Marvel ruined everything. However, who doesn't like Spider-Man as a hero? I mean, I don't like spiders, think they're creepy, but other than that, people could be like, well, I like Thor. No, I don't like Thor. Spider-Man is like Superman. Like, it's almost impossible to not like him. He was designed to be likable. And people showed up to the Final Fantasy pre-releases, and then that product sold like crazy. Now, which one's more popular, Spider-Man or Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy, hands down. Like, I don't even have to answer that. You probably already knew. They aren't even on the same planet, and cool, awesome, before they ruined it, 90s Spider-Man was a long time ago. Final Fantasy was a long time ago, mixed with also still right now. That's why you know they're doing an Elder Scroll product at some point. Just like you know they're doing Star Wars. I heard a rumor that it was all set and then the licensing was too high, so they just didn't do it. I didn't report on that because I don't trust the source. Now, we knew there was a lot of community complaints about Spider-Man being its own product, its own series, because it's like, well, it's not a Marvel set, it's just Spider-Man, you know? Like, okay, cool, whatever, but one, you got UB fatigue. You got Universes Beyond fatigue, everybody hates it. And by everybody, I mean like 56% of the community or something like that. They don't want it in the lore, they don't want it in Standard, nobody even plays Standard anymore, but they don't want it in Commander, they don't want it anywhere. However, a lot of people like to go on the internet and complain about just about anything, really. And that goes especially if they're not even customers anymore and they're just angry. Or if they're lying, or if they're bots. So you never know. And you'd especially not know that people had problems with Spider-Man because all negative comments about them in any way not just resulted in a post-deletion, but a ban, from what I'm hearing, from the main Magic subreddit. Because how dare you say anything bad about a product ever? And not like, this is terrible, they should be ashamed of themselves, blah, 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 like borderline going too far. No. Allegedly, somebody was banned for brigading by just posting like, oh, this is disappointing, I don't think it'll sell well. Or like something real vanilla like that. I didn't write it down, but I'm not sure if they were lying or if they doctored the screenshot, who knows, but it sounds like something the mods over on the main Magic subreddit would do and have done in the past. So, yeah. Now, the weird thing is people are already reporting that the Spider-Man Secret Lair sold out in like 2 seconds. Queue system, all that, anti-bot measures, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, which means that they didn't print enough. They didn't make enough. If you sell out within minutes or seconds or whatever, you didn't make enough. You just left money on the table that was idiotic. So it would seem that even WOTC knew that this wouldn't be popular, so they cut the numbers for it. I mean, that's what that would suggest. But people who go play Magic the Gathering with other human beings in person with paper, and people who buy comic book related products so that they can scalp them later or as an investment, are two completely different people. So you can't say, well, how does one succeed and one product fails? It's not the same audience, that's how. One is the actual Magic community, and the other is everybody else. Now, they're selling to everybody else, okay? People who've never even played Magic opened up Final Fantasy, or people who played like 15 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and they came back because of it, played a little bit of Limited with it, and cool, they drafted it, they opened it on stream. Awesome. It was more like chase/lottery excitement, which, you know, is a little different than most people's gaming content, if you ask me, but I think that's why the Lord of the Rings one blew up on stream, because people are like, wow, you're going to open the $3 million, $1 million, $500,000, who knows, ring. And then you had the serialized one, so it's not just like astronomical Powerball, you know. But that's why that one appeared to sell well. And also, Lord of the Rings kind of was like, you know, fantasy and swords and spells and stuff. It did kind of fit, even though it was like, okay, corporate tie-in. And if that was the end of it, we would have been good. So I think WotC thought that they could get away with anything, and they could not. I think Spider-Man was not quite the last straw, but pretty darn close to it. I'm telling you. I don't think it was time of year. I don't think it was budget. I don't think it was economics. From everything I'm seeing from like online, private, or open groups from store owners themselves, it was bad. So I'm not just going on one person's account. I'm going on like all of them. Oh, this is right in my notes. I didn't mention it. The Secret Lair website went completely offline and started having like connection issues due to, quote, high traffic. High traffic does not necessarily equate to high sales. Somebody could have just DDoSed the website. Slight caveat there to saying, whoa, it sold like gangbusters. Not necessarily, but I mean, it's not still for sale now, so obviously it's sold out. But I figured I'd just throw that in there because it's like a little maybe, you know? Now, as far as determining demand, you can't really beat a classic. I went to eBay, I typed in MTG Spiderman sealed, and then I sorted low to high and got rid of like the wrong products and stuff. So right now, if you want an entire box of play boosters, $180. Yeah. Apparently MSRP on the packs is now $6.99, mostly because they're paying the commission. Oh, well, you are paying the commission to Marvel. The royalties, whatever, it's not a commission. And I'm being told there's 30 in there, which that's news to me. $209.70 would be MSRP. That's a lot below MSRP. Now the collector's boosters, $37.99 per pack, I'm being told from multiple websites. Weirdly difficult to track down, actually. So, times 12, that would be $455.88. Right now, it's still $496. But see, that's where the big money pulls are. There might be a slight premium, and you got the launch premium and all that. Where is it going to be in 2-3 weeks? I mean, technically, the paper release isn't until September 26th. That's not really how it works anymore, but technically, the actual, for sale date is whenever they get it in. I mean, they just gave up on that. So it was probably for sale in pretty good numbers during the pre-release that nobody attended. Now, you can't just say Universes Beyond fatigue, Marvel fatigue. People don't like Spider-Man because it's, too much of a washed-up old thing from the 90s and early 2000s. Now, that's all great, but to me, the number one question is and always has been, are the cards powerful? And the answer is, oh, heck no. In Commander, it's like no with an exclamation mark. And then in Standard, which is the way I did most of the spoilers, like, hey, this would be okay in Standard, this one would not be okay. As far as like power level, or, oh, this will go in this deck, or that's too slow. That, 5 costs, you'll never even get to 5 in Standard. The game's over on like turn 4. No, you can't rely on that. Somebody will blow it up. It doesn't have any self-protection. I mean, it was just all that. The cards were garbage. Nothing was playable in Standard. I think I picked out 2 cards, and it was borderline. So if nobody can play it in Standard, but nobody plays Standard, who cares? But then if nobody can play any of the cards in Commander because they're too narrow, they're too, some weird niche thing, or they only work with themselves, and they only work with themselves. I'll tell you, the overall design of this set was limited. This is not to be played in Standard. It is so pathetically weak. So I think you take that and then pile on all the other factors, that's a big problem. But then, why didn't anybody go to pre-release? Because, see, that's where I get caught up on that excuse. That's why it's not the whole excuse and I didn't lead with it. We've had low-powered sets that sell like crap, like every core set ever, just about. It just was what it was. They couldn't all be zingers. You had one that was really cool and resonated with people, or had a really cool new mechanic and people dove all over it. Cool, whatever. It didn't have to be every set, but now it does because they're the majority of Hasbro's income. Quite literally, I think it's like 80+%. Just the Wizards of the Coast division, if not, I might be remembering this wrong, but just the Magic the Gathering part of the Wizards of the Coast division. Because ain't nobody spending money on D&D right now. Have you seen it? It's a joke. So now everything has to be a record seller. Everything has to push the needle, push the mark, and that's a lot harder to do when Standard is winnable on turn 3, 4, and 5. Like, that just, Super is not okay. A 3-year pool, a ridiculous power level, way faster games. Basically, Standard is modern from 10 years ago now. And some people are fine with that. I'm fine with high power and low power Magic. I'm cool with whatever. I just wanted both, And you ever tried teaching somebody the game when the complexity is this high and there's this many words? And now there's 50% more in the pool to learn, and the cards are less accessible because they were sold 2.5 years ago and you still need them? And then prices went up, and then prices went up even more so that you could pay the royalty. Like, are you seeing what's going on here? It's one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. It's a weak set. People don't like Spider-Man. It's a washed up property that nobody cares about. Even the Spider-Man movies that were good were like 10 plus years ago. Just nothing came together on this one. Think of a reason with everything I just said to buy it. Like, let's not look at the reasons why people aren't buying it. What reason do you have to buy it? And the fact that you're probably scratching your head thinking, well, nothing. There you go. the cards aren't playable anywhere. Nobody likes it. Nobody cares. And it costs too damn much. Like, why would I show up and waste my money and waste my time? Other than it's a fun social thing and I'll show up and pre-release anything. Okay, but I haven't been to pre-release in like 4 years for various reasons. I used to go to every single one. Even though when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible. I don't care. It's pre-release. I'm going to it. It's an event. It's like, I mean, it might not like going to Thanksgiving, but you do it, or like some like lesser holiday. Most people do like that. Oh, the Labor Day parade. Oh, you throw Tootsie Rolls to the kids. Like you do it. It's just something you do, you know? It's just, here it is, once a year. So the fact that it couldn't even just get like the long timers to show up, like these numbers are down lower than I've ever seen. People are kind of throwing them out there. I don't have like hard averages. I don't have access to like WOTC sales data or anything, or they're like app logins or whatever, you know, precise numbers. But just anecdotally, it is one of the worst ever in all of history. Going back to when a lot of these stores were open, which I assume was a long time ago, because nobody in the right mind would open a Magic store in the last 5 years. So I just assume a lot of them are older than that. Man, this is terrible. All I hope is that, you know, cool, cheaper products if you wanted it. There's always an upside to that. And silver lining part 2 would be hopefully they learn from this. And okay, leave a comment down below. Do you think we're going to see all of the Power Stones, or is Marvel pulling out after these sales numbers? Let me know what you think. I have an opinion on it. I bet you could guess. And on that cheery note, thanks for watching, everybody. What a train wreck, and I'll see you guys next time. And yes, of course I'm going to draft this on Arena when it's live.